right, get lost, all of you. You're fired. Go on, scram, get out of here, you moochers. That's right, keep moving.
You know what? Yeah.
Except you stay.
Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I got a crazy current events video for you guys. If you guys aren't familiar with these are videos I do every once in a while in which I react to these ridiculous stories and I give my thoughts on them, and this was a story that happened about a week and a half ago, so this was posted about 11 days ago. I was going to make a video about this earlier, but I was also traveling at that time and I just didn't have the time to react to it. But basically, this story is blowing up. This story is going completely viral. It's at already the original video is at 1,243,000 views, and I think that in a week or two it's probably going to get to 2 million views. So what's going on here exactly? Well, a 7-Eleven clerk, a girl who worked at 7-Eleven, a cashier, she got attacked by a violent customer, a scammer, after he didn't get his way, and the guy tried to strangle her, and she ended up shooting him, and she got fired. Yeah, that's right, you heard it correctly. She got fired for actually defending herself. I'm not making this up, this is actually what happened. So anyways, let's actually react to the story. Let's watch this, and I'll put the link down below for anybody who wants to watch the original video.
Tonight, we are hearing from a 7-Eleven clerk who shot a suspect in the stomach after police say he attacked her over a counterfeit bill. Fox 25's Rob Hagan joins us live tonight. Rob, I hear she just got some news from 7-Eleven.
That's right, Wendy. Good evening. Now, Stephanie Dilliard says 7-Eleven corporate called her today and fired her for using her own gun in self-defense. They say it's against company policy. She says she's lucky to be alive. 25-year-old Stephanie Dilliard was a 7-Eleven clerk who faced terror after she says a man tried to strangle her after she refused a counterfeit $100 bill for burritos, beef sticks, and ice cream. It happened Thursday, just before midnight.
He threatened me, said that.
Okay, so let me talk about this here first. This is a very common scam that actually happens in retail. It happens in gas stations, you know, any place that basically takes cash, this scam will happen in. But what these scammers will do is they will come into stores specifically with fake $100 bills. I've seen this happen when I worked in retail. I've seen this happen a few times. And a lot of these scammers, they basically think that the cashiers are stupid in retail, but we figure it out pretty quickly. And it's because the scammers themselves are really stupid, and because they make it really obvious. But the big red flag is they will try to buy something with something really cheap. So like in this case, they said what the guy was buying, like burritos and ice cream, so he probably wasn't spending more than $10 on that order. But he was trying to pay with a $100 fake bill, and that's basically what the scam is that the scammers will come into stores with a fake counterfeit $100 bill. They'll buy like one or two items, spend just a few dollars here, just so they get like $90 back in change, because they're trying to exchange that $100 bill for real money. That's basically what the scam is. So if you're working as a cashier, you're working in any kind of store, and a customer comes in, they're spending like, you know, $2 or $3, just buying like only a few things, but then they're paying in something like a $100 bill, that is a massive red flag that bill is fake. It's not always guaranteed that it's fake. Maybe somebody doesn't have the right change, but most of the time I've seen it happen whenever people pay with those really big bills and they're only paying for a few things, is specifically that counterfeit cash refund scam. And this girl, she's smart. She realized exactly what was going on, and she called it out, and she said that the bill was fake, and the guy got extremely aggressive with her. But let's move on to what happened here.
He was gonna slice my head off, and then that's when I tried to call the police.
It happened Thursday, just before midnight.
He threatened me, said that he was gonna slice my head off, and then that's when I tried to call the police. Realized he started throwing things at me, came behind the counter. I tried to run off, but he grabbed his hands around my neck and pushed me out of the counter space. That's when I pulled out my gun and I shot him.
Police say the suspect, 59-year-old Kenneth Thompson, ran to MacArthur Boulevard and Northwest 34th Street and called 911. Police say Dilliard is protected under Oklahoma's self-defense law, but she says 7-Eleven Human Resources fired her Monday morning for using her own gun.
Said that they were going to separate from employment because of a violation policy.
Dilliard says she was working by herself from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. for more than 2 years. On Monday, she still had a scratch on her neck and burns on her finger from firing the pistol.
This was a situation where I felt like I was put in a corner between choosing between my job and my life. And I'm always going to choose my life because there's people that depend on me. I'm going home. You know, that's my goal. I need to be here for my kids.
Thompson was a...
So, about this is, working in any kind of night shift can just be terrifying. And the reason that it's terrifying is because there's no one in the store. Now, I know that, when we're working in retail, we're working in places like this, we want the minimal amount of customers because, less work, less people ringing up. But here's the thing, when you're working in the middle of the night, you're working really late at night, and, you only have, like, one guy come in the store, that can get scary because you don't know what their intentions are. You don't know what they're planning on doing. It's only you in that store, and these criminals, they see that. They see it's only you in that store. They don't see anyone else. Criminals look around. They look around for other coworkers. They look around for other customers. They specifically choose their targets. And this guy, he went around the counter after she told him that the bill was fake. He started throwing things at her. He went around the counter. He grabbed her neck. He tried to strangle her. This guy could have killed her. He very much could have killed her. And what she did in that case, she was justified. In Oklahoma, you are allowed to carry a firearm. She had a handgun on her, and she shot him. She didn't even end up killing the guy. The guy ended up surviving, but that is clear self-defense in that case. Somebody, is assaulting you. They grab your neck, and it's only you and them in that store. She feared for her life. It is self-defense. It is justified self-defense 100% in this case. But 7-Eleven are just a bunch of idiots. And I'll talk more about 7-Eleven here in a moment.
Arrested at the hospital and charged with assault and battery, threatening acts of violence, trying to pass a fake bill, and a felony warrant for violating parole.
So about this, let's go back to this guy's charges. So this guy was already in prison for something. They don't say what he was in prison for, but he was just on parole. If you violate your parole, you get sent right back to prison. So who was the dumb person in the courts, the dumb judge? Who was the idiot who basically thought that it was a good idea to release this guy? The problem is they release so many of these dangerous criminals, they just release them back onto the streets when a lot of these guys should basically be staying in prison. But why the hell was this guy even on the streets in the first place?
Parole.
And also, this guy better be in prison for a very, very long time after this. They better not be releasing this guy anytime soon. This guy better be in prison for decades at this point. That was literally what he did there. He could have killed that girl.
Dilliard hopes this incident serves as a wake-up call so no other clerks get hurt or killed, especially women.
If I known that, there's a potential where somebody could be for real in taking my life away, that I will do whatever it takes. I hope that, women see that and, they'll do the same thing. You have the right to defend yourself.
Now, I've reached out to 7-Eleven for comment, but since news time, I've not heard back. And Dilliard says she was supposed to use, quote, store items in self-defense. Live in Oklahoma City, Rob Hagan, Fox 25.
Store items? What the hell are store items? It's probably pepper spray or probably something else that they have underneath there. But a lot of these guys, I will tell you, a lot of these guys that actually rob, stores like this, a lot of these guys are drug addicts. These guys are on drugs because these guys are so addicted to their drugs and they're desperately trying to get money to basically pay for their drug habit. And so a lot of these guys are on drugs. Pain does not affect them. Pepper spray maybe might not be the most effective thing. You don't know what the situation is. But the moment that he went around the counter and he grabbed her neck, she was fully justified in shooting him. She definitely was. And like we said, the guy didn't even die in this. But if he did die as a result of that, it would have been his own fault. Because he had attacked her. He grabbed her neck. She feared for her life. She could have been seriously hurt or she could have been killed. Now, as for 7-Eleven, what I'm going to say about this is I know that a lot of you guys are probably going to say, how can 7-Eleven do this? She should sue. Here's what I'll tell you. is as much as we would want her to sue and we would want her to win, I'm telling you guys, nothing is going to come of it. Nothing will. She can't sue 7-Eleven. The reason that she can't sue 7-Eleven is because I guarantee you that somewhere in her employment contract, it specifically says this, that employees are forbidden from bringing guns into the workplace. That is, it's probably somewhere in the employment contract, and we're not talking specifically about like open carry. She was most likely concealed carrying. That's what she was doing. But I will tell you, there's somewhere in the contract that specifically says that guns are not to be allowed to be brought into the workplace. And 7-Eleven, what they would argue in court is they would argue, oh, the guy coming into the store, that's not us. Not on us. We didn't, tell the guy to come in the store. We didn't tell him to hurt her. But she violated policy because she signed the document clearly here, and she still brought a gun into the workplace. So she had that. She's been working for some time. She must have had that gun on her for a long time. Management probably just didn't know about it. But she didn't break the law. She just violated, the company policy. But it sucks. I'm not defending 7-Eleven here. I'm just saying that her lawsuit would not go anywhere because that's basically what would happen. Is 7-Eleven would bring up that employment contract in court, and they would say, this is our policy here. And the judge would look at it and basically say, nothing's going to come out of it. But, these companies, I will say, are just so stupid. And this exactly proves my point when I say that corporate does not care about human life. They don't. They don't care about human life. They don't care about your well-being. It's like corporate would have preferred in this case for her to either be seriously injured or even dead. How dare she use a gun? How dare she, she defend herself? They're just a bunch of idiots. And I will tell you guys this is, if you agree with what I'm saying, I would advise you to never shop at 7-Eleven again. I never shop at 7-Eleven anyways. I can't remember the last time I was actually at a 7-Eleven. I will never, but after this story, I will never shop at 7-Eleven. I will never go back there, never shop in their store. I will never even stop at them for gas. That's it. Like, literally, that's the best way to get back at these companies, to basically, just don't shop with them. Just make them lose business. It's just all a bunch of BS. And I will say about 7-Eleven is that I don't know what they're trying to do here, why they are firing this girl. I don't get it personally. I don't understand the reasoning for firing this girl. If they think that it's some kind of, that they're going to get some kind of backlash by keeping her employed, nobody's going to get pissed at 7-Eleven for keeping this girl on. She defended herself. You know what? They're thinking that she damaged their reputation or something like that. No, she didn't do anything wrong. She didn't ask the guy to come in and try to strangle her. That guy did that all on his own. So I personally don't get this, but they are going to lose a lot of business now because of this. Because they wanted to be stupid with this, they're going to end up losing a lot of business, a lot of it. And I will tell you guys something else about this. As somebody who worked in retail, I worked in retail for 6 years. The policy in retail was that if somebody comes into the store and is, robbing the store, basically, the policy was that to comply with the person. It was, give the person whatever they want. If they want the money in the cash register, give it to them. And that's about it. The reason that corporate doesn't want you getting involved was because they're scared that if you get involved and you fight back and you get hurt, that you're going to sue them. But in this case, this is very different. Because in this case, she didn't even have an option to cooperate. It's not like she was going trying to be a vigilante and trying to stop the guy from robbing the store or anything like that. The guy literally went around the counter and attacked her. So it's not that she was just, trying to be a vigilante or something like that. It's literally the guy went around the counter, attacked her, and grabbed her by the neck. She was fully justified in defending herself. And like I said, I will never shop at 7-Eleven again. I'm never going to, go near this store. I am not going to even pick up gas at this place ever again. And if you agree with me, I would advise you basically the same thing. 7-Eleven are a bunch of idiots, and now they are going to lose. Like, corporate doesn't care about human life. They don't. They don't whatsoever. They're going to lose a lot of business now because of this. To what extent, I don't know. But I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of people. This video has over 1,200,000 views. This video is going to get up to 2 million views probably by the end of the week or in 2 weeks. And they're going to lose thousands of customers. The 7-Eleven's not going to collapse because of this, but they are going to lose business because of this. Because they want it to be stupid and follow some stupid, dumb policy that endangers their workers. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like. Let me know what you think down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.